Boom, we are back, and we've got another incredible blind. This is part 2
Deuce
of our previously filmed Amburana Blind. Like we said before, Amburana is very polarizing.
Very polarizing.
But we don't
Some
care.
people love it. Some people think it's a trend. It's not going to last.
Could be.
Some people think, hey, this is just the redhead stepchild in your bourbon collection. Yep. Maybe you bring it out for dessert,
yep.
Right? It's like a port. It's not like a regular wine, so it lasts forever, whatever. It is fun. It is a great flavor. Something you should have in your cabinet, I think, especially as you have new bourbon drinkers over. But it is difficult, and it is a little bit intimidating looking at 4 glasses with Amburana in it.
So our number 1 goal is to, of these 4, pick our favorite, and a little added bonus, we're going to try and guess which ones they are. Get ready.
One is easy, the other is much harder.
We've got some Rio, batch 2.
Very popular.
We've got the Lucky 7. That one's coming in at only 98 proof, BT dub. This is the Lucky 7, the New Yorker, coming in at 117.2 proof, okay? We've got the Nulu finished in Amburana. This one is coming in at 116 proof. And then we have the Starlight Distillery, Carl T. Huber's cigar batch. This one is a bourbon whiskey finished in a Brazilian Amburana barrels, coming in at 103 proof.
All very fine bottles.
Incredible.
Very fine bottles.
We're going to taste through these bad boys, see what we can come up with as our favorite, and we might even get a couple of these right.
I'm not counting on it based on my results last time, but I did have a good time. And that was the most fun I've ever had being wrong in my life.
Yep,
and
that's
so,
all that matters, really. In the end, as long as we're having fun, it doesn't matter if we get it right. Right to left, left to right?
Left to right.
Ooh, now
are we gonna sniff through them all?
Yeah.
Or first and then
we?
taste? Yeah, I think we should sniff through them all.
Now you're gonna hear a lot of cinnamon, cinnamon toast crunch,
cinnamon,
all
gingerbread,
gingerbread, all that stuff. This is kind of that gingerbread vibe too, right out of the gate. Not quite as much cinnamon as I'm used to on an Amburana.
I feel like this one might be smoother.
You might be right. Yeah,
like there's a little more butter than.
Yep.
Than you want.
Giving me a buttery vibe right there. Glass numeral dos.
Now this one, it's much more muted.
Yeah. This one smells like I'm smelling a block of butter.
Maybe they played a joke on us and like just stuck. yeah, it's super muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, nope, your nose is not blocked.
Nope.
It just is not leaking out.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's cool.
Not a lot of cinnamon on that one either. Still there. Still a little bit of cinnamon.
Maybe they played a trick on us and like
they just
poured
put
some Weller in
there.
They
probably did.
You know.
They probably did. Or they poured water in it.
They proofed it down.
They downproofed it. Or we're just really drunk.
No.
But we haven't had enough to drink to be that. So.
Correct. This one is a little bit more muted.
Yep.
Not as muted as number 2.
Wow.
And there's just a little more bready.
Yep.
Breadiness.
I'm getting the bread note. Like a cinnamon bread.
Who doesn't love cinnamon bread?
Yeah. I definitely love cinnamon bread. That's why I like Amburana. I'm a cinnamon fan.
I am too. It's, I understand why some people think it's a trend. Like, hey, you're not gonna drink this every time. You're not gonna have 4 ounces of it a night. You're gonna have 1 ounce or half an ounce or whatever else. But it, you know, and what's interesting about Amburana is you don't actually have to have the wood in the barrel that long.
Right.
So I met with a distiller who makes a very popular Amburana, and I was shocked that it's literally merely a few days.
That's crazy.
And you'd think like years of a bourbon like this wood that you think it's sitting in there forever, and it's like it's really not sitting in there that long.
Wow, that's crazy.
This one has a little more must.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. There's a strange mustiness to it. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of overtaking everything. It's like a cinnamon must.
Is that your new cologne? Yeah. Is that gonna be your new cologne?
Cinnamon must. Get ready.
All right.
Coming to a store near you. Back for the taste on number 1.
I'm getting more citrus now.
Yeah. This one shifted. That's interesting. What?
I feel like we wised up since our first blind, and that we're taking our time leveraging
aroma,
the nose and the aroma, because we know that there's going to be a lot of flavor on the tongue, whatever these are, right? And of the bottles that you had showed, I know that I've had 2 of them for sure at some point in the past. You know, both the Rio and the Lucky 7. The Rio is very popular. Some people think it's just like the best thing ever.
The cat's meow even.
The cat's meow. The first time I had Lucky 7, I was kind of blown away. I was like,
that was really good.
I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, you know, like I've had my Amburanas I think are really, really good. And then I tried it and I was like, wow, super good.
I was equally blown away when I got it. Because after having the RD1 Amburana, for me, I was like, nothing can top this.
I feel you, yeah.
Then I tried an Amburana, or a RD1 single barrel. And that blew it out of the water.
So the distiller who thought this is the best of the best.
Yeah. No.
Fair enough. I'm getting a little more wood now.
Yep. Wood and bread. I gotta go for a taste, huh?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, wow, that's... wow.
I definitely taste the wood
a
little bit more.
Like the finishing wood, like the Amburana wood, like the wood side of it, not so much the cinnamon side. Like I get the cinnamon, yes, but there's more of the wood influence.
Yes. And I've done zero homework on mash bill or process on these bottles. We're just got these bottles and we're trying them.
That's it.
Which is kind of
It's all about flavor and what we like. Now, one of these bottles is a store pick, so that kind of throws...
I noticed that. I didn't want to... I was wondering if you were going to say anything about that.
Throws a little bit of a wrench in it.
But, hey.
Total Wine.
That means they're bringing...
a lot of bottles.
Yeah. Well, and you're also bringing like your
best.
This is the best of their bunch, right?
Right.
Which is fine, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you're dealing with the bottles that you gotta deal with the bottles you brought.
Yep.
Right.
Listen, this is what we got, okay? We're just gonna tell you what the best is. That's so interesting.
It's so weird because you smell it and it's like, oh, there's not much cinnamon.
I'm going for it.
What does our palate say? Definitely butterier. I mean, you still taste the cinnamon.
Yep. This one would be more
smooth. This is smooth.
This would be more of a, if I don't like Amburana, this would be the one
100%
you'd give to a non-Amburana. Like,
yes.
Because this is like, this isn't an intense cinnamon here. It's way smoother.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, it's just a little smoother. It's like a hint. It's almost like you've got your Pellegrino where you can taste the sugar and the orange, and then you've got your LaCroix where it doesn't have that level of sugar, but you still have the tangerine flavor, right? Or this is very smooth. This is very smooth. If you're not unsure about Amburana,
whatever this one is might be the one. And if I had to venture a guess already.
Oh wow, early. This is early.
It's an early
prognostication.
Yep. Out on a limb here. This would be the Rio for me. Because I think I'm getting a slight bit of honey in there. And Rio is kind of another oddball in this lineup, in that it is finished in honey and Amburana barrels. So,
which could be part of the reason why it's so popular, because it is.
Yeah, and that could be what mutes it. That honey could be what mutes that Amburana a little bit.
I do get that. I do get a little bit of that on the tongue.
Yeah,
the honey.
So this could be the Rio.
I am following your lead.
Man,
my palate is following your lead.
My palate's. Well, don't know where it's.
And I am learning from the last time, and that I am taking a sip of water between every.
That's wise. I don't have any water, but if I did, I'd drink it. But I'm just gonna keep on barebacking it. You know, like the horse riders do. That's interesting. I strangely get the ethanol cutting through the cinnamon.
There is a little ethanol, good viscosity.
Yep.
Great flavor.
Interesting chocolate note at the end. Could be because I didn't take a drink between the two, and now I'm blending two different.
And now you're in trouble.
See,
my palate is in trouble.
My palate's just jacked.
We do have some chocolate and some nuts.
That's true.
I am trying to work my way through before I pull out the
chocolate-covered nuts.
Peanut M&Ms. I am a big fan of bourbon with chocolate. I love pairing bourbon and chocolate. If I ran a restaurant, it would probably be called
bourbon and chocolate.
Bourbon and chocolate. Because at the end of every meal...
I wonder if there's a B word for chocolate.
Maybe in French or Italian.
In some cool language.
Again, back to the must. This is happening.
The must is on. Aw.
Water has been delivered. You have been rescued.
Wow.
And actually, your viewers are now being probably better informed.
Yeah, for sure. The must transfers to the palate, for me. It's so weird.
It's still really flavorful though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like none of these are bad. Like I would never be like, oh, that's a bad funk.
Right. That's the thing about...
Like picking our favorite's gonna be not difficult. Picking which is which, especially...
That's gonna be difficult.
That's gonna be hard.
Because I haven't had the Rio before now. And it's been a hot minute since I've had anything else. Amburana.
Yeah, I had the Lucky 7 on Super Bowl Sunday 2024. I don't remember when I had the Rio, but it was probably summer of 23.
Oh, wow.
Or fall.
That's a hot minute ago.
And those are the only ones I've had. And I've had Nulu, I've had their, whatever their grape one was.
Ooh.
That was actually super interesting.
Wow.
You know, I'm thinking like, oh, this thing seems kitschy, but it was
gimmicky, if you will.
Gimmicky, yeah. But it was phenomenal. I enjoyed it.
I love a good port cask finish bourbon. That's just, man, that's me all day long. Recently found out I'm into port wine too, because I'm a sweet guy. Kind of like this. It's a dessert wine.
It is. It really is. So it's funny that you mentioned that. I actually think that this would be a fun trend, right? I have a nice steak dinner. Instead of having a sweet port wine, why not have a flavored bourbon? Be kind of cool, right?
Kind of like I don't know, a port cask finished Old Elk.
That could
This one
would
is
work with
really good, really good. For port finished bourbons, that one is really, really good. I think I've got my lineup.
Wow, you're working quick. It's like you've done this before.
Once or twice. One of those times was with you. If you haven't seen the first Amburana Blind, you should go back and watch that. I'll link it somewhere in here. I'm gonna go Rio, Lucky 7, Nulu, and Starlight.
Funny how your first two were very similar. Which one do you have as Nulu? This one?
I think this guy. I don't know why.
These are the two that I'm a little more uncertain about.
So they're probably the two you haven't had.
Possibly. However, I would like to ask what your favorite is. So maybe you should align your horses.
My favorite is the front one. My horses are lined up in my...
These two look.
Sorry, I'll go back a little bit. How's that? The horses...
Man, this is really good. This is really good.
It is good.
The funny thing is that, especially for I'll speak for these two.
That's Lucky 7 for sure. I can feel it. I can feel it.
These two are like neck and neck for me.
Yeah.
Like they're both super good.
In different ways.
In different ways. This one has more of the honey finish. Where I would say it's interesting when you try some, like, so I've tried the Rio, and then 6 months later I tried Lucky 7.
Yeah.
Right? And in between that I tried RD1. And it's weird when you have like months in between it and the perception of you had that for a particular bottle. Now again, we don't know exactly, we could be wrong.
We could be dead wrong.
What if we find out that these are the other two bottles, right?
Then we're screwed.
Then we're really like chumps.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
At least we had fun looking like chumps. Should we call in the illustrious judges?
Amburana chump.
You got your lineup? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm still trying to... like last time, I am still indecisive.
It's gonna be good.
I'm trying to decide what I like most. Do you think third's the Nulu?
I think, yeah. Which one did I say was the Nulu? No, I think 4 is the Nulu. Gosh, I don't know.
And then all of a sudden I taste 4 and it just tastes, I mean, it just tastes good.
They're all really good. That's the thing. Peanut galleries. Chocolate colored peanut gallery. That's the winner, baby. I can feel it.
I do think 2 is probably my favorite. Between 1 and 4.
This is your number 2?
Is my number 2. Oh, now I'm almost down out of 1.
Uh-oh. You must really like 1.
I do. I don't trust my palate at the moment.
I think it's time. It's time to call in the illustrious judges.
Okay, we have to align.
I'm gonna go. This is my number 1. Number 2 is my number 1. Number 1 is my number 2. And then 3, 4.
This is how I'm.
And I'm saying Lucky 7, Rio, Starlight, Nulu.
I'm going the same. You said this is Nulu?
I think so. That's just what I think.
I'm with you.
Dead wrong.
I'm with you. We're ride or die together.
Hit us.
You're not gonna oppose in any way?
Huh?
Say it
I was gonna switch these two, but I'm just ride or dying right this point.
Lucky 7, Rio, Starlight, Nulu.
Do you want me to just tell you or
Yeah.
put them out in order?
Oh,
Put 'em
yeah,
out,
Put them out. Put them out there. Here.
You're watching on camera.
I'll
You
put
don't
them
know.
right here.
Put him behind his glasses.
Really?
Wow.
So your
would've
favorite's the
thought?
Rio. And then, yeah, there you go.
Wow, that Starlight.
was the first one.
That came out of nowhere for me.
Well,
Wow.
hey, at least we got the lead horse.
Your lucky seven.
right.
Your lucky seven's the worst.
Yeah, they're all within a horse of each other.
Right.
Maybe not a
Like,
a horse
The horse's
snack or
nose
whatever.
is in the butt of the one in front of him.
I could not believe that you guys didn't like.
And we picked that one.
The nose of this though to me was so different. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, you can smell that.
When
You can
guys did
smell
Oh, it's
the
that.
completely
honey,
floored,
You
yeah.
talk about how muted it was.
It was
And
very
like,
muted.
We get a little bit of honey. I'm like,
I got so much honey. I got this interesting floral. Like it kind of smelled
Yeah.
like agave tequila almost to me. Like it was so
It's a different one.
different. So
And it's really
wild.
interesting because when you don't look at previous
Yeah.
tasting notes
Right.
yeah.
or palate and nose, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you walk in with no bias. Like I'm happy we picked the Rio.
You guys
Yeah.
did, yeah.
I'm embarrassed about Lucky 7, but
I'm kinda
at least I'm not 100% wrong this time. So that's progress.
You guys are progressing.
We are.
I got two of them. We got two of them right. The Rio and the Nulu. The other two got flopped.
That's a good way of looking at it.
But
I just know when I had this, I loved it. And by the way, when we say horse
I
here,
still
horse
love it.
there, like none of them are like bad, right? Like they're all great bourbons. Like these are all
Yep.
wonderful.
I drink all of them. They're all different. They all have a different vibe, but they're all really, really good. And if tonight, that's the thing. Tonight, this is our winner. Tomorrow night, who knows? Could be a completely different one of these bottles as our winner because your palate's just constantly shifting. So just because this is our winner tonight, which makes sense because it's a lot of people's favorites. So it's not super crazy that it won. But
What's interesting though is that the smell
yeah,
of this is not something you were drawn to.
no. If it was on smell, this would be last.
100%. But as soon as you tasted it, it was like, wow, this is really.
Yep.
It's like having the right level of cologne
Yeah.
or just the right amount of garlic.
Yep.
And when you're eating a dish, right? It just was very smooth. I actually have a greater appreciation of why Rio is so sought after.
Yeah.
Right? Like now, like I feel like I can put the pieces together.
That honey
I will
is
say
a
that the
different vibe.
Starlight has something I've never had, and I love cigar batches. Like,
Yeah.
I love, like if it says cigar cut, it's like
Yeah.
there's like a homing beacon on there for me. To be, ooh, like I want that, I want it.
It's interesting that they used Amburana in their cigar batch, right?
Correct.
Because not all of them do that. Like your Old Elks, they don't necessarily have the Amburana. So these guys use straight bourbon whiskey finished in sherry, Armagnac, port, and cognac. So that's how they make theirs, and that's also how Joseph Magnus makes theirs. Is in the port, cognac, and one other. So their cigar batch is different than this one.
Yes.
So it's a different feel.
Like any,
Which I love.
like that's a whole nother like category
Oh,
of
yeah.
video cigar cut. Anything that says cigar cut, I'm
He's
always
in.
drawn to.
He's
Like
in for
I'm
it.
in, yeah. But I'm also someone who's pretty easy to please.
Yep. Thank you all for tuning in to this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the like button too while you're down there. And guess what? This isn't it for the Amburana Blinds. We're gonna take the top two from this one and the top two from the one before, and we're gonna pick the all-time favorite Amburana finished bourbon. So stay tuned for that video coming up. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.